The girth of his what?
You're like a father to me.
Hey! And go.
What's up everyone, Adam from FWCI. This is the 400th pitch meeting and future of the show. I'm very curious to see what the future of the show is, because I feel like the pitch meetings are good when movies come out that are relevant, but I imagine there's probably less and less of those happening. So I am excited to see what the future is holding for Ryan George. And by the looks of things, I've done 141 pitch meeting reactions on this channel since I started it like 5 years ago now, I suppose, getting up to 5 years pretty soon. So the Ryan George pitch meetings have always remained on my channel, even though the views don't do anywhere near as well as some of the other stuff that I'm doing now. It's something that just, I love it. This is a kind of a guilty pleasure for me, and the audience that watches this, I appreciate it. I do still have some pitch meetings to get to. I need to do Back to the Future 3, and there's still a handful of Marvel ones that I need to do, and after that, I'm just gonna have to wait for new movies that I watch so I can do more pitch meetings, but let's see.
Stay tuned after the episode for a special look behind the scenes.
Very serious. Stay tuned after the episode for a special look behind the scenes.
So, you have a movie for me?
No, sir, I don't.
What? Oh.
Where'd they go?
We rolling? Okay, great. From the very start of pitch meeting back in 2017,
yes.
I always knew that episode 400 would have the characters not have a movie and then kind of scream and explode. And when you're crafting such a complex...
This is long-term storytelling right here. I see the vision. If I go back to the very first pitch meeting, I'm sure there are seeds planted that in episode 400, they're just going to scream and explode.
Narrative, it's very helpful to have that roadmap to, you know exactly where you're going. Knowing from the jump where this was headed, it allowed us to do things like sprinkle in elements of foreshadowing.
So, you have that new Wonder Woman script for me?
I'm going to explode in episode 400.
Great.
Yes, I did see some people on the internet figuring out where this was headed, but that's the thing about the internet, you know? People work just as hard making theories as they do discrediting them. So...
What? Did he create a bunch of Reddit accounts so that he could do this? Wow guy, the explosion thing is a red herring, or maybe a blue herring, I don't know which fish color means what. Why I think both characters will explode in episode 400, I mean the characters straight up said it, right? Super easy, 1102.
About the internet, you know? People work just as hard making theories as they do discrediting them. So no, I wasn't too scared about the big reveal being spoiled, despite those little Easter eggs that I sprinkled throughout.
And then a third eye pops out of Doctor Strange's forehead.
We're both going to explode in episode 400.
So what do you think?
I remember when Ryan told me that my character would explode in episode 400, and I thought...
I was aware that producer guy's real name was Jean-Guy Tremblay Desjardins. Tremblay Desjardins. I hope I'm not saying something that I'm not meaning to say by saying that.
That, you know, that makes a lot of sense. You know, Pitch Meeting is a show that's full of metaphor and imagery, so what better way to climax than with the explosion? Or as my character would say, climaxing with the explosion is tight. The decision to cast somebody with such a thick French-Canadian accent was a difficult one, but as soon as I saw Jean-Guy's audition tape, I said, that's our guy.
Salut, moi c'est Jean-Guy Tremblay Desjardins, j'ai 18 ans puis je m'essaye pour le rôle.
I'm loving the rabbit hole that this video is going down. I love it so much. It gives me vibes of Nathan Fielder. The Rehearsal Series 2 is coming out in 12 days. If you haven't seen Series 1, go fucking... If you're liking the depth of which Ryan George is going here, go check out the rehearsal and then join me for the reactions on April 20.
That's our guy.
Salut, moi c'est Jean-Guy Tremblay Desjardins, j'ai 18 ans puis je m'essaye pour le rôle de...
18?
Producteur Guy. Wow. C'est quoi ce texte-là, tabarnak?
He just had this undeniable electricity. I said, I don't care how many extra hours we spend on set so he can learn his lines phonetically. Get me Jean-Guy Tremblay Desjardins. I don't understand why I got part, but it's good for me. Obviously, for Jean-Guy to fully immerse himself in this world we were trying to create, I made him watch every available episode of the original British version.
A spot of pitching.
Oh, give it to me. Give me these accents. All of my life has led up to this moment. A spot of pitching. It's fucking hilarious. I'm watching so much British stuff on the channel right now. This is way too much. Let's go.
Right then, you've got a film for me, have ya? I do indeed, sir.
They're both Cockney. Of course they are.
Little bit of a faff, was it? Actually, piece of piss, that. Oddly lifted a finger.
What?
Oh, I love
J'ai
it.
rien compris de ça. Honestly, what was most challenging about casting someone like Jean-Guy is who do you find to play off of that, just to match his wild energy? That's why from the very get-go, we made the decision to make a 3D model of Jean-Guy wearing glasses, which meant we could then have Jean-Guy also perform as screenwriter guy using motion capture technology.
What?
You know, people do ask, how can a show like Pitch Meeting have a budget of $3.3 million per episode? Well, stuff like that is a big reason why.
Why didn't you just have him like wear glasses and play the other character?
Oh, fuck. I think what sticks with me from Pitch Meeting is everyone making the show is like we become big family. Tu sais, dans le sens où j'aime pas vraiment ma famille puis on se parle pas. Where do we go
Alright,
from here?
Jean-Guy.
That's the big question. How do you top such an explosive episode? Well,
You
people are
don't.
just gonna have to stick around to find out. That's all I can say. Honestly, that's all I can say.
Cool. That's a lot of episodes, man. I mean, that's an interesting thought. Will he get to 800 episodes? I mean, I really don't know. But let's see. And by the way, that was absolutely goddamn hilarious. I love the British version of... I would have liked that to have been its own video. Like, just an update, like, found footage, original British version of Pitch Meeting channel, and then just give me a full episode of that. I would have loved it. Although, that's a lot of Cockney accent. Maybe 30 seconds of highlights was more than enough. And let's just take a moment to say thank you to Ryan George for putting in all the effort and, you know, being so creative and imaginative and translating his jokes across all these different movies and evolving with time and everything like that. All the random episodes where he just really, really went down crazy paths. Like, there's one where he ends up working on the beach. Working in an office on the beach or something, and that goes on a tangent. That goes on a crazy tangent. But when you're making lots of content, like in my case, daily content, or in Ryan George's case, you know, bi-weekly content or whatever like that, and you know that every time you finish a video, you've got another one that you have to start working on, it really can be something that has a different effect on different people. And what I like about doing this channel is adding the creative tweaks along the way. And I feel like Ryan George has that same sort of gear in his creative mind. He loves a little bit of... he loves doing the same, but making it different every time. And I appreciate that. But let's see what's going on with the future of the show. I'm, again, very excited. I feel like my own channel is, like, getting to a point of not crossroads, but, like, decision-making times are coming up for me. So I'm very interested. Let's see.
George from the thing you're currently watching, but like for real now. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for watching all these years. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought I'd make 400 of these, and I've had some pretty wild dreams. What?
Yes, he has. Thank you, Ryan George, for never hitting me with any kind of copyright claim for any of these reactions. That takes a very generous individual to have that sort of outlook, because it comes down to the people that make these videos. Bruce Stew is also great with copyright. Ryan George has always been great with copyright, so I appreciate it.
Time a snake was also a turtle. This show and your support have been life-changing for me, so truly, madly, deeply thank you. Next, I want to talk about this channel a little bit moving forward. Making 400 weekly episodes has taken up a good chunk of every week of my life for the better part of a decade. To quote John Coffey from The Green Mile, "I'm tired, boss." To quote Tom Hanks's character from The Green Mile, "Oh good, I can pee again. Thanks for fixing my bladder infection."
Go check out my reaction to Green Mile. And that scene was hilarious when Tom Hanks is just orgasmic because he can take a piss.
If I really think about it, that first quote is much more relevant to what I'm talking about today. So I have made the decision to stop grinding these out every single week and take a little bit of my life back. This isn't a shutdown, this is a slowdown. I would like to reconnect with the fun of making these again, and it's been a little while since I've felt that, to be honest. Today's episode was the most fun I've...
That's a shame to hear that it's becoming a bit of a grind, and I get it though. I really understand it. Like, I love everything that I do, but the act of editing and uploading and dealing with copyright and all that kind of stuff, doing that side of it every single day, as well as the fun part, which is the recording, it weighs on you. Like, I really have to balance my work and life, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job of that, but I'm also nowhere near the level of success that Ryan George is at. So I'm completely on board with this decision for him to take a less is more approach moving forward. I hope he fucking enjoys himself.
I've had making something on this channel in a long time, and I think that stepping away from the weekly churn of it is going to help me reconnect with that fun side. I kind of feel like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel to fill in those off weeks when there aren't new releases. My daughter's turning 1 in a couple of weeks, and I should really introduce myself. I'm also really excited to kind of take...
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Maybe you should get around to that.
This extra time to explore other avenues, you know, whether it's on my other channels or maybe live shows or other media. I just want to spread my wings a little bit. Maybe visit a vet and see why I have wings now. When I take my shirt off, I look like Angel from X-Men with a dad bod. So I know this will be disappointing for some, but instead of doing weekly releases of pitch meetings, it's going to be more of a monthly thing, sometimes twice a month if it's a busy month for movies. Supplementing those videos on this channel will be a monthly compilation. People have expressed that they really like watching those while they poop or eat or sleep, and it's an honor to be a part of your bodily functions, to be quite frank. Once a month, there's also going to be a classic re-uploaded pitch meeting from the old channel. Remember that? Remember the old channel? I have made sure with the people that run this pitch meeting channel that these are going to be properly identified and stand out as different. So if you don't want to watch any old things, you don't click on them. Just watch the new stuff. Other than that...
Yeah, what happened with Screen Rant? I think I, requested not being suggested Screen Rant videos because I found it just started to get really clickbaity, and a lot of video. Basically, the pitch meetings were the only thing of value that went up on that channel. So interesting that he's tiptoeing around that.
I will be live streaming Fortnite on this channel from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every weekday. I thank you guys so much.
What? Hang on, he didn't just say what I think he said. That was a very dry joke, right?
I will be live streaming Fortnite on this channel from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every weekday. I thank you guys so much for all your support over the years, and I hope you'll stick around for this new chapter. I will see you soon, and I will be a little more well-rested and sane.
Okay. First of all, Ryan George, you do you. You go do whatever the fuck you want to do. You have earned every right to take as much time as you damn well please in between videos. I'm not sure what his journey was with Screen Rant, if there was that was a case where he got fucked with a contract or something like that. I really haven't looked into that at all. But I hope that he is earning good money. I hope he's doing what makes him happy. I hope he's spending time with his family and enjoying the fruits of his labors that we have all enjoyed in excess for the last 10 years. So if anybody is getting on his thing saying, oh man, I really wish you'd keep doing them weekly, just shut the fuck up. Like, really, leave the man alone. He has put out so much good content. Nobody has any right to expect anything more of him. And as far as I know, he doesn't have a Patreon or anything, does he? That honestly surprised me. With the amount of followers that he has, he could probably have a very, very cheap Patreon that gives like a very, very limited amount of like early access or something like that, and he'd probably increase his revenue as well. Sorry, that's just the content creator brain in me that is like sort of kicking in. But love Ryan George, and it's really interesting that he's talking about this and saying that, you know, it's time for him to sort of step back, because I've noticed on my channel recently that my movie reactions haven't really been doing, they're certainly not consistent. Every now and then I'll have one that will do well, but, you know, there's only so many movies like The Green Mile and, you know, what's the one I watched with shithead Darcy in it? Bridget Jones. Like, there's only so many of those, like, epic, you know, generational movies out there to react to, and everything else kind of flounders a little bit. And I've even been thinking about making the movie reactions on my channel, instead of doing them one every week, doing one every 2 weeks, or even just the movie poll once a month. Still trying to figure out what to do with that. At the moment, everything's going to be running along as normal, but it's just a big coincidence that he's talking about, like, hey, let's shuffle things, because I'm starting to notice that there's not enough return coming out of this for the money and the time that I'm putting into it. So it's a new generation, I guess, where you get to see your content creators really communicating with you what's going to happen on the future of the channel. And Ryan George is a proven commodity, so like I say, anybody that wants to get on his back about, hey, you need to make sure you do more videos or whatever, just shut up and leave the man alone, because he's doing great. But I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you want to support my Patreon, since old mate doesn't have one, it's patreon.com/FWCI. I go early access for pretty much all of my stuff on there, including the movies. At the moment, Hairspray is on there. Oh god, that movie fucking scarred me. Has Ryan George done a Hairspray pitch meeting? Yeah, so if you're in a hurry to watch my reaction to Hairspray, go to Patreon, because that's where it's at. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, ta-ta, and farewell.